What's going on, everybody? We've been doing some videos on engines lately, and we thought for this one it'd be good to check in with you, the drivers. After all, the people who know best are the ones behind the wheel day in and day out. We'll go over not just what America has to offer with everyone's favorite brands from Cat to Detroit Diesel, but we'll also take a look at some of our European viewers' favorites. But before we do, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to keep up to date with the world of trucking, and let's get into some engines.
Hey guys, look what I built! I've been working in this industry for about 16 years now. I chose to devote some time to helping others through this channel since I've seen truckers being exploited by our own industry providers for far too long. Company drivers, owner-operators, lease operators, small fleet owners, or anybody thinking of coming into our industry, this channel is for you. Make sure you're a subscriber to this channel and hit that bell notification so you can keep up to date on the latest information on North American trucking.
Recently, we put out a poll asking what our viewers thought was the best engine currently on the market. We also asked them to base their answers on durability, the price tag, and both frequency and cost of repairs. Seeing as we were capped at listing only 5, we gave the options of the PACCAR MX-13, Detroit DD15, Volvo D13, Cummins X15, and the International Navistar. We ended up getting well over 2,000 votes, so thank you to all those who participated, and here's what we found. Coming in first place with no close second and 52% of the votes was the Cummins X15. This engine has a displacement of 14.9 liters and has both the brute power needed to haul loads up steep inclines and fuel economy that your bottom line will appreciate. One of our viewers who drives an X15 left us this comment recently. I got a Cummins X15 Performance in my 2018 W900L, heavy spec with the 605 horsepower, 2050 torque engine. I've got 900,000 kilometers or 560,000 miles and no major issues. Gets me where I need to be and has never left me stranded. Good pulling power and good miles per gallon compared to my old Acert C15. I've heard amazing things about the Performance Series engines, but I haven't heard much about their Efficiency Series engine. Another driver had this to say about the X15. You get just under 1200 RPMs with the Cummins X15 with a 3.0 gear ratio. That is a beautiful balance between power and fuel economy. The Cummins X15 will give you 15.8 to 20 gallons per 100 miles, while the Detroit gives you 20 to 24 gallons per 100 miles. This leads us into the second favorite engine in the poll, the Detroit DD15, which got 32% of the votes. The DD15 has a displacement of 14.8 liters, puts up 400 to 505 horsepower, with a torque output of up to 1,750 foot-pounds. One of our viewers had this to say: Detroit all the way, be it the old 8V92 two-strokes you still find running in some dump trucks back home, the legendary Series 60, or the modern DD15, which he went on to elaborate can suffer from sensor and emissions issues like everyone else's engines, but rarely ever has fundamental mechanical problems. Just a great brand, he added. Now, we have noticed the DD15 catches quite a bit of flack in our comment sections. A viewer named Jacob once said, "I've seen way more issues out of DD15 engines than Volvo. Volvo makes a great engine, but they're about as expensive as a cat to run, and parts aren't always readily available." So what are some of those issues Jacob is referring to? Well, most commonly the DD15 can have low oil pressure. This typically comes into play after the 500,000 mile mark. This is because with time, the O-rings on the oil suction manifold will harden and lose their ability to maintain their proper seal. The DD15 is also known to have some oil leaks around the fuel pump, air compressor, oil coolant system, and camshaft housing. It's also advised that if you do have a DD15, you make sure to go to a service station that has a Detroit-approved primer, as sometimes using alternatives can cause the engine to have starting issues. Coming in third was the Volvo D13 with a mere 9% of the votes. The D13 offers 12 power ratings from 375 to 500 horsepower and 1,450 to 1,850 foot-pounds of torque. However, other than Jacob previously comparing the D13 to the DD15, there aren't many drivers talking up the Volvo engine in our comment sections. Considering the PACCAR MX-13 and Navistar got less than 10% of the votes combined, we figured we'll just skip on by breakdowns of those engines. We thought it might be good to expand on a comment left where a driver mentioned that a lot of the times this topic is spoken about, people glance over European technology, going on to say, Mercedes' new inline 6 has a revolutionary way of using exhaust gas recirculation to control the throttle and boost, and added that Scania has great diesels as well. Another viewer echoed similar feelings by saying, People should try the Scania V8 series, claiming that it's unbeatable in all aspects. Scania is a manufacturer out of Sweden that's been in the game since 1911. This company is a subsidiary of Traton, which is part of the Volkswagen Group. The updated Scania V8 has an all-new OptiCruise gearbox, and drivers can reach fuel savings of up to 6% with this technology. Drivers also have the choice between 530, 590, 660, or 770 horsepower outputs. The 770 horsepower engine is the world's strongest commercially produced truck engine and can even put out torque of up to 3,700 foot-pounds. Now, this video isn't only about modern engines. There's no shortage of drivers who look back on engines from older generations and think, the good old days. We've had many drivers mention they are fans of the Detroit Diesel Series 92, even one earlier in this video, even if it's simply for the coolness factor of it being a two-stroke. The most popular versions of the Series 92 were the 6V92 and the 8V92, which were V6 and V8 configurations. This engine was first released in 1974 as a reboard version of its then popular sister series, the Series 71. The most common use for the Series 92 was definitely as on-the-road trucks. However, they could also very commonly be found under the hoods of many buses, motorhomes, and even military vehicles. Let's jump over to a comment left by a viewer who's a big fan of Cummins and said, "Nobody will ever talk me out of my Cummins 600 Signature Series. Over 2 million miles on it, and it still walks the dog on everything I've come across, pulling hills at over 120,000 pounds. Fuel mileage is consistent, and after 21 years has never had a mechanical issue." The Cummins 600 was the first by the company to be designed around an advanced electronic control module. Cummins made this engine in 1998 with owner-operators and performance-minded small fleets in mind. That same viewer went on to state, "Cats are great engines mechanically with lots of power. Like the Cummins, a little more expensive to work on when they need it. Cat's one big downfall was always fuel mileage. In normal applications, 5.5 to 6 miles per gallon were fantastic for a Cat engine." So we thought this would be a good time to take a look at everyone's favorite engine brand that no longer makes engines, Cat. Josh told us, "Cat C15 is hands down the best engine, and it sucks they don't make them anymore. The C15 became extremely popular due to its versatility. Not only was it beloved in the trucking industry, Cat actually lists over 34 applications that are powered by the C15. This engine won the JD Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with vocational heavy-duty diesel engines, not just once, but 6 times. Cat says these engines have a 1 million mile lifespan as long as you're following the recommended maintenance. The C15 has a power rating of 435 to 635 horsepower with a total torque output of up to 2,050 foot-pounds. Another viewer shared with us, "I had a 1986 Freightliner cab over that had the old 3406B Caterpillar engine. It was 350 horsepower, no engine brake, backed by a 9SP Eaton Fuller. His 3 favorites were 1, Cat, which he thought were best for heavy oversized loads or just heavy hauling period, 2, Cummins for over the road million mile after million mile, and 3, Detroit for lighter loads over the road, and that it's the best big truck engine in the fuel economy department." The 3406 is definitely the one that most frequently shows up in our comment sections. The 3406 was designed to power heavy vessels and could be used as a single unit, or it could be coupled in order to generate more power. These engines are often highly praised for their reliability, and a big reason for this was because the 3406s were pre-emissions engines, which is preferred by many drivers. A lot of this preference comes because ever since environmental regulations have come heavily into play, they brought with them endless sensors that can and often do become faulty over time and require additional maintenance. Well, that's it for this video, and by no means do we think this is a complete list of the best engines, so if we missed your favorite, let us know what it is and why in the comments below. There's definitely some favorites such as the Detroit Diesel Series 60 and so on that we didn't get into, but if you want to see more videos like this where we use your responses, don't be shy to let us know either. Before I get out of here, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with all of our new content, and we'll catch you next time.